The Commanders are really going all in. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Abdullah coming at you with another live stream for the DMVSportsZone channel. And we're coming at you after the deadline just past 4 o'clock p.m. Wow. Just wow. Adam Peters and company finally pulled the trigger and traded for all-pro defensive back Marshon Lattimore. I'm here with my good friend Mahad, Somali sports guy. Mahad, what are your thoughts? We can talk about the compensation. Just a great move by Adam Peters and company.
Yep, for sure, 100%. Coming into today, I feel like a lot of us fans and NFL football fans and around the league, we all thought something was going to happen. Some trade was going to happen, whether it's going to be on the offensive side or, in this case, most likely the defensive side. And having Marshon Lattimore come into our squad is definitely going to be boosting our secondary. Adam Peters doing his thing. He's a genius, as everyone knows. Definitely 100% front runner. General manager of the year, management of the year, whatever you want to call it. But definitely the way we even required Marshon to begin with is, very honestly surprising. Pretty much we just practically flipped Jahan Dotson that when we traded him earlier in August. We required Marshon Lattimore from the Saints for 2025 fifth-round pick, in addition of the player himself, and giving back a third-round pick, which is the Miami pick with the Jahan Dotson trade, and then also a fourth and sixth round. And, looking at that may be a lot of picks. Maybe a lot of people thinking that, it's a hefty amount to pay. But, when you're getting a Pro Bowl caliber top 10, cornerback in the NFL, that's going to really help this team. That's 100% worth it. What do you think?
No, definitely. I think considering the fact that Adam Peters didn't give up that Miami pick, gave up our third round pick, that's huge. And again, Marshon Lattimore, I mean, now that he's on this team, he's officially the best cornerback in this room. And we desperately needed it. I mean, Benjamin St-Juste is, it's been very up and down. Emmanuel Forbes, and we all know everything about him as fans. And Mike Cristiano is young, he's a rookie. But you bring in a guy like Marshon Lattimore, who, man, I think 4-time Pro Bowler. I mean, at his peak a few years ago, I mean, still in somewhat of his prime, would lock up guys like Mike Evans. I mean, the amount of times him and Mike Evans would go at it, it was so funny, them fighting. But you bring him in here to have him guard guys like A.J. Brown twice a year, CeeDee Lamb twice a year, Malik Neighbors twice a year. I'm hoping he's here for the long run. And I think he's under contract for 2 years. But again, another great move by Adam Peters. It was, I think, around 11 a.m. or 12 when the trade happened. And it was kind of expected. I thought that, I'm not going to lie, KC was going to somewhat pounce on him because it just makes sense for Kansas City. Maybe Kansas City wasn't going to give up that much compensation. I really thought maybe even Baltimore could have, gone to him because, again, Saints are in the NFC. Trading to the AFC would have made more sense. But I'm happy he's a Commander. I mean, I can't wait. I don't know if he's going to play this week against Pittsburgh, but just a great move by Adam Peters, not giving up that much. And I can't wait. I really think now, I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to the Super Bowl, but chances of going to the NFC Championship just increase by a good amount.
100%. I completely agree. And you were talking about bringing in Marshon and even to seeing if he'll even be able to play at the end of this week again in Pittsburgh, against Pittsburgh. And honestly, I know he has a hamstring injury, so we don't know if that's an actual hamstring injury or like some sort of Devontae Adams hamstring injury where you magically hop off a plane and I'm ready to suit up. So we'll see. Hopefully he can play, but honestly, I think it's probably the best to slowly integrate him into the team. Wait until we play him Philly next after this game against the Steelers. Playing the Steelers, they're not as much of an air raid offense as a lot of people expect. They're very heavy on the run. They got Najee Harris. They got a lot of good running backs, and they have a solid O-line. So I think this game we're going to play against them is really going to be determining based on the front seven. Our guys, Daron Payne, Fedarian Mathis, Johnny Newton, exactly. Those guys in the middle are going to really have to pinch the line and really be able to hold down the run. So, which is why I really don't think it's as big of a deal to rush Marshon in, especially if he has a legit hamstring injury. Mm-hmm. So, looking at that, so what do you really think? And looking at our secondary, we got Emmanuel Forbes still on the team, even surprisingly, as a lot of
I thought he was going to get traded.
Really, yeah, I know. I also thought that too, but then I really was thinking like, is a team really going to take the chance of throwing a 6th or 7th round pick or something, and I feel like that Adam Peters, Dan Quinn, the guys, they tried to get something out of it. It clearly seems like no one was willing to budge because I promise you, if someone's given a 7th round pick, Emmanuel Forbes is hopping on the plane right out of IAD, first flight out. I'll tell you that.
Nah, definitely. I agree with you there. Maybe, I mean, there's still some fans out there with optimism saying that, hey, maybe he can learn from Marshon Lattimore, but I think Joe Witt and Dan Quinn and Adam Peters know that he just wasn't the right choice at that first round pick. And it's crazy to think about looking back. Like we could have had Christian Gonzalez with this defense, but then again, it's all about the whole butterfly effect. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten Jaden Daniels. So overall, like I'm happy the secondary got boosted because again, dude, like it really is a game changer. I'm not gonna say I wasn't upset that we didn't make another move, but it would have been nice to see if we traded for a wide receiver or maybe even an edge rusher. I really, as much as I'm delusional, I really didn't think that Max Crosby or Myles Garrett was coming here. But coming into this offseason, dude, I mean, with the cap space and the draft picks, I think that's when, I mean, even after today's trade, a lot of analysts were saying we're Super Bowl contenders, but next year is when I'm like, yeah, like
Exactly.
NFC Championship or bust.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And the switch up is insane with how fast our new organization, Josh Harris, you got to really give him credit, putting the right guys in place to be able to completely revamp this entire organization. Going from, being one of the biggest snooze fests in the NFL to consistently being put on national media coverage, So that's definitely one thing to say. Going back to what you were talking about more trades possibly being, acquired on our end, I was really expecting something to happen on the offensive side. Maybe Mike Williams. I know he got traded out of New York. And honestly, it wasn't a crazy give
I
up
think
what
it
they
was a
did.
fifth round pick.
Yeah, fifth round pick, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that was a pretty solid deal, especially to give to take a lot of stress off Russell Wilson and George Pickens as well. So that probably was a good trade. I know like Zadarius went over to Detroit. They probably are trying to like replace unfortunate injury to Aiden Hutchinson. So I feel like all the teams, what I've noticed is that all the teams that are really contending want to increase their chances, and all the teams that are going to really be looking to rebuild the next 3 to 5 years are really just starting to sell. The Raiders, the
Saints.
Raiders, the Saints, exactly. Like even the Panthers too. They got rid of Jonathan Mingo for what? It was like a 4th round pick. I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked.
Was it a fourth round pick? I don't know, but
yeah, it was a 4th round pick, 2025 4th round pick, straight to the Cowboys gave that up. I was shocked. I'm like, that's a great deal, honestly, great deal. I don't know what Jerry Jones is thinking. I don't know what he's been doing, but hey, it's a good thing for us, so you can't complain.
No, definitely, I agree with you there. Right now, the Commanders are 7-2. Really looking at it, I think they could finish with 10+ wins, and I definitely think we're having that home playoff game. I just want to see how this pans out. How like the scheming wise with Joe Witten, how he'll use Marshon Lattimore out there. Have our good friend Sam supporting us while he's probably in class right now, but as we should be. But that's a whole different story. No, I agree, man. Like, this is awesome, dude. Like again, like it wasn't that long ago where players didn't even want to look at Washington, let alone play here. Like analysts talking bad about the team, just Dan Snyder bringing this just team down to the ground for so many years, 2 decades, and Josh Harris and company just changing it within 1 year. It was less than a year. It was funny when Ron Rivera said it takes 3 to 5 years to change the culture of a team. Josh Harris and Adam Peters just like that, the snap of their fingers, and it really is great to see. And now that they're winning on the field, hopefully it continues, and hopefully players will come to DC. I'm not gonna lie though, I was hoping like a pipe dream if the Bengals were selling that we would somewhat land T. Higgins, but I don't think that's happening.
Exactly. No, honestly, I thought that too, but I don't know. Maybe it's probably for the best that we didn't just throw it all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Love from Somalia.
Definitely. No, this is great, man. It really is a great time to be a Commanders fan. And now that I really think it's going to be between us and Philadelphia. I think Dallas is out the picture. Giants are obviously looking to rebuild, figure out what they want to do.
The real question is Chris Rodriguez giving up his number? Is he going to give up 23?
I saw that on. Oh, Ali has a question for you. You can think about that before I answer. But I saw that on social media where like they were saying, "Bro, give him any number he wants." Chris Rodriguez, I'm sorry, but you're like the third thing. Like Marshon Lattimore is already the best defensive back in the room. So
arguably best defensive player at this point. If he can actually no, Frankie Louva. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't disrespect Frankie Louva.
I'm sorry.
We might as well talk about it since we're like midway through the season with the deadline. Who do you think are the locked-in Pro Bowlers for this team?
Pro Bowlers defensively, 100% Frankie Louvu. Honestly, as well, Bobby Wagner's been playing amazing too. I think he definitely deserves a shot up there. Outside of that, I wouldn't say.
Do you think Jaden offensively is up there?
Jaden Daniels?
Yeah.
Oh, is the sky blue? Come on, bro. Of course he's gonna be in a Pro Bowl. Come on, bro. He's obviously, honestly, I was talking about this the other day on Twitter with some guy. He was debating whether or not Jaden Daniels, sorry, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, right? And I think it's too early to say he's a top 5. He's definitely playing right now like he's a top 5 quarterback, but he should 100% should be in the Pro Bowl consideration, even the MVP consideration. I don't know what you think. You can give me your take, but I definitely think that's 100%.
We talked about it. I think he'll finish top 5 in MVP. I just don't think he will, considering the fact that like Lamar and Allen are just on a whole different level, and I think they will have better records than the Commanders. But I mean, who knows? Maybe
You
they
never
might
know.
fall off, and Daniels wins MVP. I mean, when's the last time a rookie won MVP? Has that happened? I don't know. It's probably been quite a
I
while.
think was it Lawrence Taylor? I couldn't think. I mean,
Maybe
I
it
know
was.
Jim Brown. Jim Brown did win it, right? Once, I
Mhm.
think. I think Jim Brown with the Browns,
The
his
Browns.
rookie year. Yeah.
I think also
I think Lawrence
Mahad
Taylor. I
may
could be wrong.
if Brian I don't know, hopefully Brian Robinson like doesn't like miss out on these
Yeah,
games. I think
exactly.
the way he started off the
100%.
season, he's a pro bowler.
Exactly. Jaden Daniels, Brian Robinson, Terry
Scary.
McLaurin, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, in my opinion, those 5 guys. And honestly, it would be Tressway too, but our offense is too good to even have him be out on the field. So,
Yeah. Also,
but
maybe
yeah,
one of our
no,
offensive linemen too. Go ahead.
exactly. Austin Seibert too.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
doubt, no doubt. One of the most underrated players on our team, Mr. Consistency.
No, definitely, definitely. I
For
agree. I
sure.
agree.
Well,
Uh, I don't know if we're missing anything else, man. Marshon's a commander. That's crazy, man.
I know.
I really thought like his value was going to be a second round pick. I didn't think third round, but I think I guess the Saints are just so desperate and they want to get as much draft capital as they can,
Yeah.
and they settle with that.
Yeah, I think even the fact on top of that too, I think nowadays, especially in the NFL, where it's like projected towards and where it's leaning, it's kind of hard to get a lot of draft capital for players nowadays. You know, unless you're like an elite, especially a young player. Marshawn's he's a little older. You think he's about to turn 29.
It's so crazy. Him and Terry are around the same age, and I think they came into Ohio State at the same
Yep,
time.
same time I think they won a championship together. They beat Oregon. I remember, yeah, 2015. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, I think the age is definitely was 100% a factor, but 100% worth it.
Here we go. We got Adam Peters for president. We got our cornerback 1. I hope they give him a long-term contract because we have the money. Let's get it. Yes, sir. It's time. Come to class, Abdullah. Cam, man, the Commanders are making moves. Head of the Washington Commanders. Yeah, that is. I think that's pretty much it. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
No, that's it. Definitely excited for this game against Pittsburgh. Hopefully, we come out.
Yeah, definitely we'll push out more content as we go. Follow us on all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at DMVSportsZone. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out Mahad's X account, Somali Sports Guy, pushes out great Commanders content. And yeah, man, that's crazy, man. What a trade deadline it was for the Commanders as they finally have a lockdown corner in Washington. And with that being said, we're out. Peace.